Namaste. So I just want to bring up something today, something that us as humans, we seem to have a huge problem yet in overcoming differences. And it's this word unity that I want to discuss. This word unity that is so important that, especially in these times that we're facing right now, these very negative, very evil times, there should be much, much more unity amongst us. And I look out, you can just look out on the street, or you can look out, look at different things on the internet, and you'll just see these differences. Everybody has so many differences, and they're like fighting and killing and, doing these very harmful things to other that are really not for any justifiable reason. Not that there should any ever be a justifiable reason to harm people, but in the sense that people are still fighting over things that there's no reason that they should be fighting over. There's differences. There will always be differences in humans generally, but we need to find our common ground. We need to unite, especially now in very evil times. The people need to fight. They need to unite. And I'm not saying fight like we all need to go outside with bats and knives and like have this huge revolution. I'm saying we need to unite and fight on a mental level. We need to ask ourselves questions. Well, what is the common ground that we have? We're all living on the same planet, are we not? We're all living on planet Earth. This is our common ground. We as human beings, we all need the same things. We all need food. We all need shelter. We all need clothing to survive. This is our common ground. So why are we continuing to argue amongst ourselves? We have to remember that this evil that's out there, has a plan to put different groups against other groups, to put people against people. And this is their plan. And this is why it's so important to stay away from mass media, especially because mass media is so controlled and it pits groups against the other. It puts spouses against each other, and it puts children against each other, and it puts any kind of religious or political system one against the other. It's the classic plan of divide and conquer. If we are all divided, it's so much easier to conquer us individually. But there is safety in numbers, and this is why it's so urgent that we have to find some kind of common ground, and we have to unite. In reality, according to the universe, there is no color amongst us. There is no white or black or brown or red or yellow. We are the same. Okay, you have to go back to those things that we all need to survive. There is no religion. There is no political association. There is no male. There is no female. There are no man-made social structures, okay? There is no class structures. There is no rich. There is no poor. When we go back to the basics, the very basis of life, we still all need those three things to live. So this is our starting ground. This is where we can start from. So why are we continuing to criticize and judge and condemn when we should be opening our hearts and uniting with each other? We need to go back to being like children, because in essence we are all children. Nobody has all the answers. Nobody has all the information. We are all still learning. We are all students, and we are all here to learn from one another. I don't know everything, but the things that I don't know, maybe I can share with 10 other people. And if we all work together, then we have 10 times more information than we previously did. Okay, and especially associating with people that are outside of your preferred group, for example. We need to move towards associating with other people that maybe are not of the same religion as we are, or maybe not of the same political choices that we are, or the same class structure, because this is how we learn. We learn by having contact with different people and by learning about different cultures. If you want to learn different languages, you can't just only speak with one person. You have to speak with other people that learn the other languages, and then that's how you learn more vocabulary. You learn, if I speak with 10 different people that all speak 10 different languages, now I know 10 different ways of how I can say good morning, for example. So we need to have this kind of mindset. We need to come into this as children, knowing that we don't know anything. We need to continue to ask questions, and we have to not allow these social structures to control us, to influence us. We need to also realize that our beliefs are not facts. People will have different beliefs. They have different beliefs based on the information that they have and based on their past experiences. And this is what they believe. But beliefs are not facts. They are simply opinions. So you might have somebody that has the belief, for example, that XYZ restaurant is the best restaurant in the world. This is their belief. We still have to see what facts are behind that. So maybe the facts are that XYZ restaurant uses harmful chemicals in their food to make the food last longer, to act as a conservative. So this is a fact. So just because somebody has a certain belief, what my point is here is just because somebody believes a certain thing doesn't mean that we have to criticize and condemn them. We can still find the common ground. We can still engage in intellectual conversation to understand how and why they came to that belief. Why do they believe that particular thing? And we all have beliefs, all of us. Every single person on the planet has beliefs. So even I have certain beliefs. What I may think, maybe somebody else doesn't think. So, but we still have to come to a common ground. We still have to say, okay, well, this is what we all believe, but let's see if we can find what the similarities are. And, especially things like religions, for example. A lot of people are still fighting, Hinduism is the best, being Muslim is the best, being Jewish is the best, being Christian is the best. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, especially at the point of time that we are in right now. We are in historical times, and it is extremely important that we unite and we find some kind of common ground, even in religion. And we may say, well, you know what? Maybe the same thing that we all have in common is we all want peace, or we all want to share more compassion with each other. So maybe these are some common grounds, but unless we reach out and speak to those people, we won't know. But if we throw arrows of hatred and disapproval and criticism and judgments, we're never going to know. And we're never going to bring about a more peaceful society in this way. And this is why doing inner work is so useful, because inner work will allow you to see illusions. It will allow you to see when there is a belief. It will allow you to see your own beliefs and allow these illusions to crumble and allow you to be more open and allow you to see differences and allow you to be in that frame of mind, that calm frame of mind that will allow you then to communicate with others and find similarities instead of fighting about differences. Even couples, being married, one may have a preference for a certain food because that's what they believe is tasty, and the other has a preference for a different food because that's what they find tasty. And maybe you're fighting for all afternoon to find the restaurant that will suit both of you. But you can either fight all day long and say, well, no, because this is what I want, this is what I believe is good, and I'm going there. And the other person says, well, no, this is what I want, I'm going there, this is what I believe is good. And you spend all afternoon fighting because you're focusing on the differences. But if you focus on finding similarities, maybe this argument between a couple, for example, could be resolved in 10 minutes because now we are coming from a place of clarity. We're using our mind, we're using our head to think in a logical way to say, you know what, okay, so let's focus on the similarities. What do we both like? And finding on what we both like instead of what one likes and what the other doesn't like. If we focus on the similarities, maybe that couple could find a restaurant in 10 minutes, for example, saying, well, I like this, you like this is what we both like together, so we'll go there. And it saves an entire afternoon of discussion about the differences, for example. So, for example, we need to focus on what the similarities are, even in religions, even in political structures. You know, people are still fighting, well, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, blah, blah, blah. Does it even matter? Because at this point, it's there's basically an evil entity that really wants to, you know, really doesn't pay attention anymore to what the population wants, what the people want. And this has been going on for an extremely long time. The people have been silenced, essentially. So this isn't really anymore about one or the other. So instead of fighting about the differences, well, I can't talk to you because you're Republican. Really? Why don't we focus on what the similarities are, what things we want together? And maybe out of 10 things, maybe you only find one thing that you're on common ground with. But maybe this one thing is enough to unite an entire group of people that can bring down or that can bring the society to a better place. And this is what our goal should be. We should be moving towards truth. We should be moving towards justice. We should be moving towards righteousness, because these are the things that will bring us peace. These are the things that will bring happiness, that will bring a return to happiness in the world. And the people have to unite, and the people have to do this together. This is the only way. This is the only way. So that being said, let me know if you have any questions or comments. And if you want to follow this channel, please subscribe below and make sure to like this video if you like this video as well. Thank you and namaste.